Lives and livelihoods continue to be lost, and for livelihoods continue to be disrupted in North Rift region of Kenya, which continues to have insecurity and more precisely banditry as its second name. This far, is the government making sufficient efforts towards addressing this perennial problem that has seen many Kenyans cry out to the government and also to non-state actors to intervene today, if not yesterday? My name is Richard Mwenja. Welcome to Business Glide, the only show that touches on matters public policy, business and economics at large. And with me is yours truly, Herman Manyora, renowned public scholar in Eastern and Central Africa. Great to see you, sir. You're looking good, laid back.
Why are you boxing me in some small, poor region?
We rarely see funds from
matters of public policy and the people who consult me.
I see, especially your funds from US.
No, not even funds, serious institutions, financial institutions.
But just the other day you couldn't afford your gas.
Which one?
At your home.
They don't pay. They just consult me and exploit me.
For free?
For free.
But these politicians, do they pay you for what we do here?
Zero.
Zero? Even the advice you're giving Ruto?
Politicians are used to conmen, sweet-talking conmen and brokers.
We normally advise the president every week. But he hasn't sent you anything?
No.
How about Raila?
Nothing.
But you were at Jacaranda the other day.
Jacaranda? I was lying, I didn't go.
You never went there?
I'm a coward. Yes.
All right, let's delve into today's conversation. You're talking matters insecurity in the North Rift and particularly banditry therein. Day in, day out, lives continue to be lost. Local economy is bearing the brunt of such skirmishes all over the place. And let's start here. Barely a few days ago, Interior CS Kithure Kindiki had paid a visit to Baringo County, and therein was meeting with multi-agency squads in there and local leaders. But just a few meters away, we saw bandits lighting up fire, trying to send a negative signal towards the CS that regardless of what we are saying, we are here to stay. Let's start here. Is it that CS Kindiki has failed to put on that face value that is needed to intimidate these bandits, like Kaiseri used to do and Matiang'i? Or is it just that probably that is his style, which might not even come into fruition?
These are bad people.
He doesn't just stop at you speaking to the microphone, to the media.
That's why I laughed when I had Kindiki and the president saying, they will come to an end. You don't just wish it away. These are masters of the terrain, masters of the environment, supported by years and years of tradition and culture. They understand the geography more than your best geographer.
All right.
Yeah.
Then again,
it's not easy dealing with those people. Anybody who thinks this is easy will be very disappointed.
Even those people causing chaos, the terrorists inside Boni Forest and within that Boni enclave stretching from Lamu to Garissa, we just saw multi-agencies go there in, led by the KDF, and these further have made commendable progress. KDF doesn't understand that terrain. They have been there. They have really helped. And so are other police officers in Boni Forest therein. So what's the difference with North Rift, with Baringo County? Police are there, other people from multi-agency organs are there. How then do you argue the issue of terrain?
The bandits are mainly people who are coming, you can call it outside. Even if a good number are locals, but they're actually like Al-Shabaab kind of people from outside. When you go to the North Rift, it is the indigenous people doing their thing which they have done for years upon years.
They have lived with it.
They have lived with cattle rustling. It's part of the culture. They have terrorized each other. The Turkana, the Pokot, they have terrorized each other. And they understand the terrain. Modern weaponry has made it worse. Okay? So when you enter there, it's not like a bandit you can chase away through Boni Forest. If he came from Somalia, he goes back to Somalia. No. Huyu ni mtu wa nyumbani kwake.
Aendi anabaki hapo.
Anabaki nyumbani kwake. How do you distinguish a nice innocent herder from a man who in the next 10 minutes will shoot you down with an AK-47?
I see.
That's why the Americans couldn't handle the Vietnam War. This guy should borrow from history. But that kind of situation is not easy to handle. You must give it very, very serious attention. It can be brains, it should be brains more than power. The power of the gun cannot sort out the issue in the North Rift. It is the power of the brain.
Part of the power of the brain the government has tried to use is doing more of community engagement, going there, talking with the local leaders, engaging these villagers they are in. It has given wiggle room for mediation with these bandits to tell them, hand over your arms and then we're going to help you in whatever way. So what other effort can the government do besides community engagement?
How do you tell people to hand over weapons when a small 7-year-old boy already knows how to dismantle an AK-47 and clean it and return it the way it was? When a man cannot give you his daughter unless you guarantee you can protect the daughter by the number of guns you have. No man will give you a daughter, his daughter, in marriage if you are not a man. And you are a man if you know how to handle guns and you have some of them and you can demonstrate and give some in dowry. You think it's a simple matter? It's not a simple matter.
So the government trying to do Operation Fagia Bunduki in North Rift won't be successful.
They are given all the outdated guns. When the government leaves, they laugh. They can't believe it. Even when they surrender guns, they surrender all useless guns. And they laugh as government goes laughing they have collected guns. You can't. It requires thinking. And by thinking, I don't mean just saying, let's sit here, oh, you need water, or you are fighting over water.
With the county commissioner there.
Oh, you are fighting over. So, no, it requires serious thinking. Big thinking. And that big thinking cannot be put on the table so long as every idea, every project is an opportunity for people to eat. If you say you want to constitute a team to look into the northeastern province, into the North Rift issues, do you think Manyora will land there? Even when you listen to me here, and you know I have ideas, and you listen to other Kenyans, and you know they have ideas, and you know they can think, you will not send them there because those you send in that team will make money.
Commercialization of war?
Yeah, so in other words, if you are setting up a team to look into this issue, you give them 6 months. At the end of the 6 months, kila mtu atanunua V8. Ule anataka V8, si ndio? Ule hana shamba ataenda Kitala anunue eka yake 10. Tunaelewana na wewe? So utaweka Manyora hapo?
No.
If you are the CS Interior. If Kidiki Kindure professor is forming a team, because we have told him, you need people who can think through a situation. You think he doesn't know I can think through a situation? But you think he'll put me there? He'll put people there either because they are friendly to the government, Kenya Kwanza, UDA, or because they are his friends, the reward system, chronism, even over very serious matters that requires very serious thinking. Yeah. So the North Rift area, they said it will be the end of it. People are still dying. Although, to their credit, I heard Lesuda and some people celebrating that for the first time people are able to enjoy Christmas, which is a plus. But that's not enough.
59 years after independence.
This is just a lull. It will come back. They will still kill policemen. They will still do the things they have been doing, so long as you do not approach it with the seriousness it deserves.
Could that be signaling why we've seen this is the backyard to former two heads? So actually, the former head of state, the late Moi, the current head of state is from North Rift region. Would you say this is the kind of low political will that has been orchestrated even in the past? That's why even right now it's so hard for people like William Kapket, Naisula Lesuda to spearhead such conversations.
It's not easy because I've told you, money comes at play. There's business. Rustling, cattle rustling is business. Think of it this way. Is it conceivable that ordinary people can move 2,000 head of cattle without being arrested? However much they may be masters of the terrain, knowing where the wind is blowing, what, they can know all that, and the dust. But is it possible they can move 5,000 heads of cattle?
No.
Without being spotted? With this satellite technology and everything. Secondly, where would they get the market? Where would ordinary people get the market for 2,000 heads of cattle? Ng'ombe 1,000.
Not even Kimalel go to auction can do that.
You can't. So, look, it's also business. And government must bite the bullet. And say it may as well be that there are people we know close to us, well connected, even in certain areas we may not want to mention here. But we shall bite the bullet and go for them. When the government says, we know you, you are inciting people, does it ever go beyond that?
Emotional speeches?
I have seen how leaders are responsible for clashes between their communities and other communities. I come from Western, on the boundary of Western and Nandi. We have had skirmishes in my lifetime. In the 60s, when I was a kid, I almost died. When you read my memoirs, you'll see there that part. I'm running away from home because my mother was very harsh. I didn't look after cattle. I went to play. Now coming in the evening around 6:30, I'm facing reality. Leo kimeumana. So I decided, what? I go to Museja where my mother was born. So I'm crossing from my home in Luombe, going to a small kid in class 1 or thereabouts. So as I pass Kinu, a place called Kinu, I can see houses are on fire. I am not understanding what it is. I get home around 7:30. I'm calling my mother, no, my grandmother, nobody's answering. Then they just come and grab me and do this on my mouth. They take me to the banana plantation. They are sleeping there. They are not sleeping in the houses. I slept inside a huge pot. There used to be very huge pots for storing grain. That's where I slept, inside. It happened again in 1979 when Moi came there at Kapkangani. Anybody would know. There's a guy, a small young man here called Kimutai. Ask him, Kapkangani.
Yeah, Kennedy.
Yeah, it was a series in 1979. It was people, and Moi mentioned them. It is always politicians who are inciting people so that they may get votes. You make the Luya fight the challenge so that you may become a serious Luya leader. You become a councillor. On the other side, there's somebody there inciting the Kalenji, the Nandi, to fight the Luya. And it's so stupid because the people calling themselves Nandis are actual Luyas.
What?
Some of them have just left when I'm seeing. Their homes are still there, their brothers are still the other side. Now they have crossed the other side, they have become Nandi. And they are willing to. So, it is leaders who incite people most of the time. So the government must bite the bullet. If you want to sort out the mess in North Rift, you must be ready to face those leaders who incite people.
Then again, do you agree with this, that probably part of that process towards biting the bullet from the government side is what the initiative they've made this far? We've seen them allocating land reserves for establishment of police posts.
I want to hear so and so is in jail.
Not giving land for setup of military bases.
I want to hear so and so is in jail for inciting his community, for arming his community. And they are known. They have been flagged out. But nothing has happened to them. Let's not mention them here. They will sue us.
Wow. Political will is all it will take.
Why can't they get those people and take them to jail?
What then do you make of the government as we wind up in the interest of time? These are county governments that have been on news, drought-stricken. The local economies are hurting very much. But then again, the Kenya Kwanza government is probably on a taxation spree. Even from these very same counties that people are already grappling with high cost of living and banditry and all that. Do you support that school of thought from a section of Kenyans and particularly human rights activists that probably those people in Baragoi, they should be advanced with tax incentives, at least as a special group of people, at least before insecurity is sorted, so that they go back to their normal livelihoods?
Yeah, you cannot tax people who are in need of help. There must be, you know, there's affirmative action. There is need to support people who need support like those. You cannot leave Turkana to the design of the governor. Turkana is not another county. It's not Nyeri. Turkana is a special county. Those special challenges that Turkana faces, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, cannot be left to the county government. You see? There must be something extra extended to those counties to mitigate droughts. So once you have done the sharing of revenue,
yeah,
and Turkana has its 12 billion, you must again say no. When it comes to food security, this is beyond the governor. Government will step in, and this is the blueprint we have to ensure that Turkana in the next 5-7 years is food sufficient. That you can't leave to the county. with the 12 billion. They can't do it. You can't give Elgeyo Marakwet 4 billion and say they will sort out the problems in Elgeyo Marakwet that are beyond what we could consider normal.
Or Lamu and Kwale.
Yeah, you can't. You need to, these are special zones that have been marginalized over the years. They will need special attention. For example, if you are wanting to look at Garissa, you are wanting to see something like education. The government must spend on education in Garissa more than it spends on education in Vihiga. Because there are intervention measures the government requires in Garissa that may not be necessary in. You do not need to protect teachers to teach in Vihiga. You will have to protect teachers to teach in Garissa. You get it? So you could even end up building barracks for teachers. You need more boarding schools, primary boarding schools in Garissa than you need in Vihiga. So this you can't leave to the county government.
All right.
And that applies to counties in extreme need like Turkana.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Of course, subtle pointers from Herman Manyora, renowned public scholar and political analyst in Eastern and Central Africa, sharing nuggets of wisdom on how best the government, can address the issue of insecurity and more precisely banditry in the North Rift region. This far, by the day, we continue losing lives and livelihoods continue to be disrupted. But the question is, until when? We're already 59 years after our independence. It is so heartening when we see Kenyans dying because of banditry in those particular regions. Time now for Fun of the Week, and it is this gentleman from Baringo County, Agricultural Officer Benjamin Tanui.
Benjamin Tanui, thank you for being part of this family, and do your best to ensure the people of Baringo get the best in terms of agriculture.
All right.
So that we don't see them do the things they do during farming.
I see.
Yes.
Until next time on Business Glide, my name is Richard Mwenja. Always a pleasure to have you on board. Up next on your screen is the Business Glide African Proverb of the Day.